deliveries. It's the first of the month for June in 2020. Let's see what showed up. Well, I had a couple of pairs of shorts arrive, cotton shorts. Nothing fancy about them, but they included the coat hangers. I thought that was funny. They just took them straight off the shelf, shoved them in the packet with the coat hanger on. Now, next, and this is one I had to open and check. Rather than buy an entire new winch for my Argo, I bought just the winch controller with the remote controls. An identical remote controls to my existing winch, but I've lost one of the other controls. In fact, I think I've lost both of them, so this might be compatible with both. But anyway, this should work to operate a winch relay. So relay not included apparently, but that's easy to fit. So that'll be handy. Now, due to coronavirus delays, this one's taken several months. I ordered this one last year, actually. So yeah, and this one's from the Ukraine. I'm pretty sure I know what this is, considering I've only ordered one thing from the Ukraine. So let's use our serrated sheep's foot blade and have a crack at opening this. And sheep's foot blades were originally named because I used for cutting the hooves on sheep. To help clean them up. It gives you a good control on the end of the blade. But I think this might be a scissor job. This one is worth opening on camera because it's been waiting for it for so long, and you've got a range of tubes. I bought a few things from this guy. It's wrapped Chinese style in multiple layers, so let's have some fun watching me open this. Last time I got Russian lollies and a little piece of Russian newspaper. It was quite interesting. But I think it's a knife blade job. But I'm glad they've packed this. Okay, this is going to take a bit to open. We'll jump to when it's fully open. We're down to the fourth and hopefully final layer. I think we can probably get this out now. I think they certainly took some care to pack this carefully. Oh, there's our tube. So it's in. Oh, we've got the mil-spec plug and everything with it. Okay, so this, if we can remove this tube fairly carefully, there's several Geiger tubes in here. So there's an SBM 20 here that I need for a Geiger counter project. And there's another smaller one here. And then there's two others on this side for various different styles of tubes and for various different radiation or particle types. But this one's good for a gamma and beta tube. The SPM 20 is what I wanted, but some of these might be good to experiment with other stuff. And this is a nicely filtered and stabilized tube assembly, so very interesting. So yeah, that's a variant of an SPM 20. I think it's a CTC5, which I think is pretty much a clone of the military SPM 20. This, yeah, I've got to remember what these ones were. Yeah, I've got to remember my my Ukrainian and Russian symbols. I know a little bit, but not enough to read this off the side of the tube. Anyway, let's move on to whatever else shows up. Okay, so it's now the 4th of the month. Let's see what else has showed up. I have this nice box, which I had to open to verify the contents before I decided to accept delivery, but I have some ugly cable. This is OFC 20 gauge stuff, so. And this particular brand of cable is really nice. You can actually separate these two sections very well. Although I've just trimmed my fingernails. Let's grab a pair of cutters here. This stuff is one of the things I like about this, is you can separate the cables beautifully. It trims nicely and cleanly. And on here we can also strip off very nice and cleanly as well. And plenty of nice clean actual copper strands in there, so it's good stuff. Anyway, I've got something else. Got to take a step back and a bit of a change of angle for this one. See if we can get this up here. Oh, this is almost a bit big to fit on the desk. Can I show you from here? I'm not sure if you can see this. This is a manual oil extractor. I've done me 10 hours on my Argo, so it's time for the very first oil change. And every 50 hours from thereafter. So let's get this open and up on the bench. Now we've got some fun getting into this. We've got some instructions for a start. Oh, it's got a nice handy dandy handle on it. It's a handling handle. Alright, we've got some pipes. I think that's about all that's in there. Well, it doesn't look like much assembly is required. Let's take the lid off the top here. See what we've got. Alright, so we have a handle, which is clearly a vacuum pump. Kind of like a giant adult marital aid, if you ask me. Oh, and we've got a pressure relief thing here as well. Okay, and so clearly we have several different diameters of pipe, and they... Oh, no, we've got a copper one. Let's pull a copper one off for interest's sake. Alright, it's our copper pipe. Looks like these just little rubber thingies pop on the top here. On your thumb. And I can hear it sucking air in. I wonder how close we can get this to the microphone so you guys can hear it happening there. Oh, here we go. Somewhere over there. Is that near the microphone? Anyway, that sounds like that's going to work rather well. And it feels quite sturdy too. So, yeah, sounds pretty simple to use. I'm not sure how to get the excess oil out. It looks like it's all screwed together, so please read the manual carefully. Well, I guess that'll answer that. I'll read the manual. Anyway, we'll see what else we get. Alright, some more deliveries have arrived. This for a start. It's a Polytough Extreme tarp, which is out of frame of my camera. This is a really tough looking tarp. This one comes from Bunnings though. It's going to go over the Argo, hopefully, until I can get a proper one made up. Of course, I'm going to hold it on with cheap bungee cords or octopus straps or Oki straps. These are all the same length, so some of them might get knots tied in them to shorten them. But anyway, you know what? They're already tangled. I hate them. Alright, what else have we got? Genuine Briggs and Stratton oil of the right viscosity to do the Argo. We're going to do an oil change. And it stinks like a lawnmower. I'm putting it down there. Oh, and these have arrived. I'm a fan of M&Ms, and we all know what M&Ms are like. These are fancy imported ones though, I think. Where have they come from? These are from like a cheapest chip shop we've got. Product is not shown to scale, I get that. It's suspiciously not noted where it's come from. But it has a .com.au address on the back, so it might be Aussie issue one. Anyway, let's move on and see what else we get. There was one more thing. I've got a green stoner torch now. Not that I needed for getting stoned, but these work really well for heat shrink and hot glue and all the things I do. And I found my local servo sells this particular type, which I really like. They're probably some of the more reliable ones, so I bought another spare one. I pick up one every now and then because I lose them about as fast as I buy them. So anyway, what else we'll get? We'll see. Alright, we're outside for this delivery. Just had a drop off of some Spherol Ultratech 2 multi-purpose lithium grease. Pretty sure this stuff replaces the old Castrol Agri grease, which was a heavy duty lithium grease with water properties. This stuff is a multi-purpose lithium grease with special properties in wet environments. Well, it's going in an amphibious vehicle, so that makes sense. And a new grease gun. This one's a supposedly bulk fill and cartridge fill. I'm going to be really happy not to bulk fill things. I'm sick of getting grease all over my hands. So yeah, this will be fun. Another package has arrived. See what this one is. Cut the letter off the front. I'm pretty sure I know what this is, and I've been waiting a few weeks for it. Wait, they're heavy letters, but I think this is the package that I want. I wonder why there's so many scratches on my desk. That's why. Alright, so there is a heavily bubble wrapped package in here. What is this? Yep, this is certainly what I asked for. Alright, so this comes from the Bradford Exchange, and this is the Veterans Remembered collection. And this is one of them. These are Vietnam commemorative coins, clad in gold. This one looks very nice. It's in its original unit. I think I'll keep that in its carry case. Looks very nice. And we've got in the back. That looks pretty cool. So yeah. I know a couple of Vietnam vets personally, so yeah, that's particularly relevant. That, if I swing around here, is going to go in my little mini museum here. So it's going to go into that collection. I think it'll look rather nice there. Alright, let's see what else shows up. Well, we've had something else arrive, and we decided to open this in some nice pristine area. And I've got a cameraman today, so a camera woman. But we're going to crack these for a date, and I'll show you what these are and why we brought them out here. I'll open all of this. At least I hope this is what I thought it was, otherwise we're going to be a bit hungry. No, it's definitely what I thought it was. Alright, so these are from Aussie Storm Shop. These are basically civilian issue versions of the military ration packs with pretty much all the same ingredients in them. We've got 3 different menus in here, and we've got some flameless ration heaters as well with them. So we're going to try these out. I might even buy one and keep it in here. So that'll be good. But we got, what did we get? We got, oh, which one was it? This is one of several. I think we got a chili con carne, we got a chicken, and we got a spaghetti, I think, as well. So these will be good. We'll try them out. Alright, another heavy ass box has showed up. I'm pretty sure from the weight of this I know what this one is. Let's see if we can get it open and get some overhead lights here. Light sensitivity is a bit of a thing now since the left eye was damaged from an attack of optic neuritis. In fact, I've had 2 episodes. Yep, I think I know what this is. That label pretty well illustrates it. Get this on the go. Right. Oh, these are heavy things. This is another one. This one's going to go on the wife's car, and we're going to have a Heyman Reese adapter to fit this. So the wife will be able to do tow balls and pinto or lunette rings, just the same as my Land Rover. Oh, Macca's delivers now, however, I get a bit crackly in the throat after Macca's. It's a bit of greasies. Anyway, that's another miracle. They deliver now. Alright, there's going to be plenty more to show up. I've still got 2 weeks left in the month, so let's see what else shows up. Some more stuff has showed up. This was a donation handed to me earlier today. Very little known about this. It's obviously a valve, and I assume from the top of the box it's probably a 6V3. But I couldn't, at a brief notice, see any indication of a marking. That looks like a PV7B. I think it's a different tube. This on the top here tells me this is possibly a transmit tube. So yeah, it could be. And looking at the grates in there, it could be a signal amplifier tube. I don't know. I will have to ask the expert. That would be my father. This next donation is not going to be with me too long, but it's a big one. This, I'm pretty sure it is a marine smoke flare dropped from an aircraft, hence the little lug here. But yes, yeah, smoke float. So this one's getting donated to the museum, and we'll probably do an episode on that at some point. But anyway, this one's landed on my doorstep. There's still some more stuff. We'll go over that in a minute. Right, another one of these has arrived. I've had one of these before donated to me. Apparently these aren't as interesting as they were made up to be. Now, I think there's a button here that can light up a strip in the red. I think if we do this and pick a colour, no, it's just going to light up the red only. I've got one of these actually already. We can probably turn that on somewhere here and we can select all the different colours. That was the last one that was donated. Anyway, let's see what else we have. Alright, the next thing, we've got a Coleman propane cylinder. It's an interesting one, unusual style. And we've got a little UHF handheld. I wonder if that still fires up. No, batteries are flat. But that'll be interesting. That's probably a little 2.5 water. Let's see what's under the cover. Oh, that's right. These ones are a nightmare to get open. I remember these. So it's a Uniden UH405SX 2NB. I think they're a little 2-watt job. Made in Vietnam. So that'll be interesting. We'll use that for something. All this stuff gets used for something. And you can put it back together. Alright, we'll see what else shows up. Alright, so a mystery box with Chinese characters on it has arrived. And I have no recollection of what this is.
I can't wait to see it.
Got my apprentice doing some commentary in the background here too.
Yes.
So let's see what this is.
Oh, and I can't wait to see. Whoa. Yes. I was with Chinese, so I love Chinese.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I love sushi.
Okay, so there's that. Ah, okay. These
Down the board floor.
These are in order for a friend.
That's
These
what
are infrared
we
beam
did.
kits. I thought they jingled.
Whoa.
They actually got here really quick.
Wow. We'll open one of these after the break.
I'll have a
Daddy,
look.
we said after the break.
So I've got some of these set up already, but these are a repeating infrared beam. They're a dual beam. This is the repeater side. The other side has a relay, so basically whenever anything crosses that beam, it triggers the buzzer. So that will be handy. So we've got 4 sets of those here. Alright, we'll see what else shows up. Well, another parcel has arrived. Judging by the size of this one, I can probably guess what it is. But these days I've been forgetting the stuff that I order. Probably having a little bit of money to spare, you do stupid things. Yes, I know what this is. Now, a little while ago I got myself into a quandary and lost some keys to a padlock. So rather than cut the padlock off, I thought this is a good excuse to learn how to pick some locks. So I took an eBay special on a cheap set of these, and we'll see just how cheap they are. So, geez, I've got a lot of bags sitting over here. I think they give you a dummy padlock too, which might be what this is. But that might have been the sound of me blunting the blade on that. Oh, it is. It's a dummy padlock, which is really nice. I like these things. They're an acrylic padlock. It's the sort of thing you put onto something just to confuse people. But I've got some padlock shims coming too that might help. And so I can learn to see if padlock shims will do the work as well. Although this one doesn't look like there's much room to shim the lock. But fairly basic key, and this looks like it's got several pins in it. So yeah, this will be interesting to learn. Let's have a look at everything else that's in here. I'm a little bit mesmerized. I like acrylic see-through stuff. Here's our big collection of picks. Now, I really wanted a wave rake, but the wave rakes I want are expensive. but they do work really well. And unfortunately not many of these come with an actual wave rake. Probably the nearest thing to a wave is this one. It's more of a point one, but I've heard you can sand these down a little bit. Oh, this almost looks like a wave rake here. So actually, let's find a tension wrench. Did they give us one in here? Well, they've given us this sort of a tension wrench. Here we go. A tension wrench like this. So maybe we might be able to just have a quick crack with a wave rake here, and we'll see what we get. I've got to learn to get tension right with these things too, and also get the turn of the barrel in the right direction as well. But this one's got a lot of extra pins in it, so this is not a simple lock. It's not going to come out that easy, but this is just a delivery video, so we'll have a practice later on. Probably do a video just on that. But anyway, this looks like it's going to be a reasonably okay set. And I can probably laser cut whatever I'm missing out of that. And they've got a little instructional how to pick padlock guide here as well. So, and I think this lock's actually got a few different types of spools in it too. So it could be a fancy one to try and to pick. Anyway, we'll work on it, and we'll have a crack at a later date. Let's see what else shows up. Alright, so while I was unpacking this, I thought I'd have an experiment and a second shot actually picking the lock with this wave rake style, and I find it's actually not that hard to pop the lock. So there we go. First time picking them in a lock, or first time successfully picking that with a wave rake style pick. So yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. I think I'm going to find that lock that I need to pick, and I'm going to try that. But a nice set. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Right, a couple of things have shown up. This is this strange noisy box or bag, and this comes from Ironside Military. Sounds like my apprentice is checking the mailbox as well. Alright, these are kidney cups. These are genuine defence issue kidney cups. Now these are for a mate. But these fold out like so, and lock in like that. Let's angle our camera up a bit. But that means you can hold it without getting your hands burnt. And there are aluminium heat rings that go over those too, but they're not a defence issue thing. But he'll be happy. Let's see what else we've got. This one was a gift from an old school patron who isn't on Patreon, but he still helps support my work. So we'll see what these are. It's been suggested that I use these on the Argo because I've had trouble communicating when I'm driving around. Now these come with a lead too. These look like an ordinary set of earmuffs, but they're actually Bluetooth enabled. These are basically what I was trying to build a few years ago, and didn't have too much success with. But crucially, these have a built-in microphone. I'm not sure where it is. So you can compare them with your phone and take calls and stream audio to them. And it even looks like there's a line-in plug here as well. That will be handy, very handy on the Argo. If I get 2 pairs of these, we might even be able to set up an intercom. But yeah, I'll charge these up and see how they work, and they may or may not feature in another video. I don't know yet. But you get your charging lead with these, and you get a full manual for them as well. So, all right, let's see what else shows up. I'm sure there's going to be more. More stuff has arrived. Another big box. Let's see what's in this one. And if it is what I think it is, which I'm pretty sure it is, I've got to be careful with a knife here. So it's been well taped up. Yep, that is what I thought it is. Let's pull some of these out. I've seen some of these already this month, but let's see if we can get all of these out in one go. nicely. Aha, more ration packs. Now I don't take sponsorships, so I'm not sponsored by anybody at this point. But let's just do some inventory. People seem to find these interesting. So, got a bunch of Hunger Buster ration packs, similar to what you saw us eating in the Argo, and there's those nice Lynx bars there. So this one is, what have we got? Spag bowl, that'll be for the apprentice. We've got chili con carne, another chili con carne, another butter chicken. Did I order 5? Oh yeah, and another butter chicken. So did we get, right, so 2 butter chickens, 2 chili con carne, and spag bowl. And a bunch of random, or just randomly packed flameless ration heaters. Very handy, these things. Alright, these will be good. I'm not going to open these, but they're really nice ration packs, so they're pretty much the same as what the military issued, except these ones have got the condensed milk in them still. I think they removed them from the rat packs, the military ones. But anyway, these will be good. Right, another delivery has arrived. I'm pretty sure I know what this one is as well, but let's get this open and see if I'm on camera when I do it. Should be interesting if it is what I think it is. Where are we? Oh no, this isn't what I thought it was. This is other things. Completely other stuff. Okay, so I thought this was glow powder, but no, it's not. Something I completely forgot that I'd ordered. I got more than I thought. I was ordering 1 pack of 4. But these are Siloom sticks. They're actually proper glow sticks. But you know, these are proper, actual long lifespan, long glow sticks. I'm going to shove some of these under the seat of the Argo for emergency lighting. I think I got white ones, so we might try one of them and see how they glow tonight. You know what, let's crack one. It's the middle of the night. I'm going to open one of these up and try it out, and my apprentice can assist with the testing process as well. I want to try one, because I have a bunch of these. There's 2 there, but check the rest of them back in the packet. Alright, how easy is it to get into these? They have a tear tab on the top. That's nice. And that doesn't look like it'll be a white one, but let's have a closer look at this, just because I'm curious. They've got a nice little clip on the top here that's fairly easy to use, and they've got a fixed hole in a nice solid position. So, right, let's turn our overhead lights off, turn all of this off. Alright, and let's see how we go. Give it a good shake. It's certainly white. I'm going to shut the door as well and see what we get light-wise. Alright, so I've completely eliminated all light sources in the room, and I think my eyes are a bit more sensitive than this camera, but that is a usable amount of light, and if I warm it up with my hands a little bit, I'm sure it'd get a bit brighter. Let's stick it in front of the heater for a moment. So about 30 seconds in front of the heater, and it's quite a usable amount of light. Certainly if I was out the bush and my retinas had fully, or not my retinas, my iris had fully opened up, this would be certainly quite a usable amount of light. Not bad at all, actually. And they're white, so I can actually identify colors of switches and terminals and things like that. So if I need to like get a battery reconnected or something like that, that would be very handy in an emergency situation. So I'm packing a bit of a survival kit together for the Argo, so that will be good. Alright, let's see what else we get. Now, I was just putting those glow sticks away, and I noticed there was a business card that included with them. And he said, enjoy the extra. I was right, I checked my order, and I actually got more than I expected. So I'm giving these guys a bit of a plug. I'm considering this a donation. So yeah, it's good stuff. So yeah, if you're looking for decent glow sticks, chase these guys. Alright, let's see what else shows up. Another delivery has arrived. Somewhat smaller than what I expected, so I guess we'll find out if this is what we expected. If I can get the box open. I've been outside and I'm a bit shaky, so give me a moment. Alright, see if this is what I expected it to be. Oh no, this is not the hitch adapter. This is a lock for the hitch. Oh, it comes with a cheap padlock too. Couple mate padlock. Can't see that being it's a marine padlock. I can't see that being too good. But anyway, this should go through the pintle hitch and allow that to be locked up, which will be nice. More keys to lose. Alright, let's see what else shows up. Alright, so I thought I'd have a quick crack at picking this lock, and turns out to be actually kind of a difficult lock to pick. And there's no real room to shim it either, so I guess I kind of trust the lock a little bit more. But yeah, I've been through a whole bunch of different rakes, and I've even been through it with the really long reach pick. So yeah, and you need a fairly tiny little tension wrench in here, so I think it's pretty good. It's not real quick to pick, so I'm happy. And I think there's a couple of like fancy spools in there or something like that that are helping stop it getting picked. So it feels like there's like one pin that's just not going. So I think the lock's not so bad after all. Anyway, let's move on. Right, some more stuff has arrived. Now, these two, I'm not sure if I've included them in a previous video yet, but these are some quality key-to-like padlocks. So apologies if you've already seen these before, but these were about nearly 80 bucks for the two of them, but I had the barrels keyed alike, and they are extremely difficult to pick, if not impossible for somebody of my lock picking skill. So yeah, these will be good. They don't fit in the intended purpose that I had intended them for, which is locking up the toolbox on my new trailer, but this might solve that problem. I've got a bigger lock hasp. And normally anything that says master lock, I laugh ridiculously because that's usually stupid. But in this case, this looks significantly more robust than the lockable hasps that are already on the toolbox. So certainly enough, I think, that will deter people. Still made in China, but still better than what's on there by a long shot. And one other item has showed up. I have an oar, because it occurred to me that whilst floating in the water in my Argo, if I suffer an engine failure and or battery failure, I'm going to be dead in the water. So I got this nice extendable oar. It has this big long shaft that can be twisted and locked and shortened way up. So this should be short enough to fit on some little clasps that I'll probably 3D print and affix to the back of the Argo. So it'll give me something to paddle with in the water just in case. And it wasn't too expensive. This was 20 bucks, I think, locally, or even less than that maybe. Still very handy. Alright, there's still a few days left in the month, so we'll see what happens. Alright, we're out in the field for this delivery. This is probably the second biggest delivery I've had. This is a 2-post car hoist. So it's going to be fun. I have no idea how I'm going to get this off. It took 2 forklifts to get it on here. So yeah, fun. Well, that last delivery I picked up has become a problem. Where I'd planned to put it, which is a mate's shed, the access to that is only 2.1 meters high. My vehicle is 2.5 meters high, and there's no real hope for getting it through, even running it on flat tires. So now I have $3,000 worth of hoist and nowhere to put it, and no way to get it off my trailer, which I can't use the Argo until it's gone. It's going to be a problem. But there's more stuff to show up, so yeah, let's go and see what we can do. Alright, now normally I'd do an unboxing video on this, but for obvious reasons I won't be in this, and it rained last night too. Luckily I got a tarp on this. I have measured this morning, and from that roof rack to here with a load on, it's exactly 2100 mil, so 2.1 meters. I think if I take some stuff off the roof rack and reduce the tire pressures, I might even get it in there. But I don't know. Anyway, this trailer's got to go in for its first check over today, and I've got a big fat load on it, so trailer guys might have to deal with that. I'm going to call them shortly when they open. So yeah, and I'm going to have to drag this to do school drop off. Yay. I think I'm going to be parking away from the gate, but anyway, and I dropped one in the dark last night, so this has turned out to be interesting. I still don't know what I'm going to do with this thing. The one time when I impulse buy, I did a bloody decent job of it. So, yeah, let's move on to the next delivery, and we might do a whole different video on this one. Anyway, we'll see you in a moment. Alright, well, I've had some new stuff arrive. Let's see what it is. These. Nothing really electronic or mechanical about these, but they're huge and I wear them every day. My last pair got full of mud when I was out on the Argo. These aren't an impulse buy. I've been waiting for a couple of weeks for these, in fact a couple of months nearly. So these will be good. Made by Barter, which are now made in China. They used to be made in Germany, but anyway, quality is still reasonable, so these will be good. Anyway, there's probably some more stuff to show up today. We'll find out. Alright, something else did show up, and while I'm opening this, I'll have a chat about that hoist. Got in touch with my mate at the place where we plan to install it, and it looks like the Rover might actually fit after all, with a little bit of room. We might have to take the tyres down and pressure a bit, but looks like we're going to get to install that. Now, what is this? My Bluetooth version 5 receiver. You know, I remember a time when there was only Bluetooth version 1 and 2. Now, like, Bluetooth version 5's like, I wonder if this is just not some crazy Chinese labeling thing, but from what I recall, Bluetooth 5 is a thing. But we'll find out. All these little adapters are getting so tiny these days. Like, where are we? Ugh. You know what? I'm never going to reuse this bag again. Let's do it that way. Oh, we've got a baby CD with it too. I'll back that up onto my backup drive. And it's a Bluetooth 5 receiver. And it can go in my collection of all these other Bluetooth items, or USB items. But that should allow me to connect my computer to those new WorkTunes Bluetooth headset, or Bluetooth earmuffs. Alright, cool bananas. Oh, and one additional note, I just plugged this into my USB port, and it has come up on the Windows 10 immediately as a Bluetooth device. No drivers, it worked immediately. Very nice. Still going to back up this CD though. Anyway, let's try the next thing. Now, I'm halfway through this donations and deliveries video, and I decided to stop and listen to the Premier's announcement that he made yesterday on the 22nd of the month. There have been people who are confirmed cases of COVID-19 and have gone off and had family gatherings, knowingly transmitted it after they've been told to go home and self-isolate. That is profoundly stupid. That's all I have to say on that topic. I'm not going to get political about it. I just had to make that comment. Anyway, let's move on with more deliveries. Alright, we've got another delivery has arrived, but I'm in the middle of a repair job at the moment and I don't want to disturb that, so we're moving along the desk a little bit. Let's have a look at what we have here. It's a fairly decent heavy box, and I think I know what this is, and this might be some more bits related to the Argo, or at least relocating the Argo. Let's see what we have here. Move that up, and yes, indeed it is. Let's have a look here. That'll be my Heyman Reese adapter, or rather, this one's going to be my wife's. Wow, that is a seriously thick bag. Maybe they were worried about an alien infestation getting out or something. It's huge. Alright, can we get this out? There we go. That's a heavy hunk of steel. I guess considering it's going to put a bit of weight on it. Nice little doubler plate there. The welding could be a little better, but it looks sturdy nonetheless. Alright, let's get the other part to this and just check something. Right, now, here's the pintle ball that goes with it. Let's angle things down a little bit. Want to see if the holes line up. Let's have a look here. We might have won. They do actually line up. So let's have a look down here. So these two will mate together, and that will give us the ability to do toe balls and pintle hitches on the back of the Jeep, and at the same height as the Land Rover, or very close to, within maybe an inch or two. That'll be good, and it's removable. Alrighty. I'm sure there's more to show up. I have lost track of everything. I know the Bradford Exchange screwed me over. This medallion that is over in the museum over the back here, it's laying down here now. That was part of a subscription service that they automatically opt you in for. So $100 came out of my account this morning. And apparently they've sent me another medallion, and were decidedly difficult to get hold of when I said I would like to cancel this subscription service that I didn't opt in for. And they got really grumpy with me when I actually got hold of them on the phone. So yeah, the ACCC has been notified about that one, because there wasn't obvious indication that it was a subscription service. And I've had to cancel my credit card because of that. So anyway, let's yeah, rant aside, let's move on to the next delivery. Alright, we've got one final delivery, and we're down in the supplies closet, which has got a mystery gumboot in the way. And we had a delivery. $71 worth of toilet paper. But there are 12 rolls of industrial stuff. So there's probably about 12 kilometers of bog roll here. We should be fine. And the reason we got this is because we can't buy it any other way. Because there's been a minor outbreak and everybody is panicking again. So we've got bog roll. We don't need to go to the shops for that for a while. Anyway, see you all in the next one. Sounds like my apprentice is a bit restless. So hope you enjoyed the donations and deliveries, and we'll be back.